Я приветствую Шавасти, и мы готовы. Несколько вопросов по поводу предстоящего семинара, который пройдет для российских студентов, который называется «Язык души». Хотелось бы спросить, почему язык души и почему твоя специализация, как твоя образовалась специализация на исцеляющих фразах, в расстановках, и почему именно это направление?
Mhm. Okay. Hmm. Well, healing sentences really emerged originally with the originator of the work, Bert Hellinger. He employed them, and they are something that's just simply emerged from the field. So there isn't like a list of um, standard sentences that we use in particular circumstances. Although over many years, we do hear the same phrases coming up time and time again. But a lot of the phrases we use are very unique. And it really is about pinpointing accurately the actual situation rather than the story around it. And so the healing sentences allow people to see truth in a very distilled way. What we find generally in many therapies, people become overly verbal. And so they tend to talk over the real issue rather than actually feeling what's present. And so the healing sentences bring a focus to what is actually present in a very simple way. Mhm. So there's a couple of aspects to it. One is being very precise and accurate with our wording, to name things as they are, and to avoid the story around it. And when we speak these simple statements, which are simple expressions of truth, they become felt in the body, and the body has a response to them. And so the healing sentences are really around allowing simplicity to be the healing itself. And so it separates us from the story that we've told ourselves to look at what is really present, what is the truth here. Mm-hmm. So somebody could come into family constellation work feeling, for example, very angry with their father. But a healing sentence could be, how I long for you, dear father. Because often anger is used as a way to deflect from the deeper feelings of hurt and longing and missing. And so we call it the language of the soul because this way of simplistic communicating with distilled truths initiates a healing movement. And that's what we're looking for as a healing movement. Mm-hmm. But there's another aspect to the language of the soul as well, to the healing sentences. It's not only a way of phrasing things, but it's also an aspect of deep listening. And so just as representatives are in the field and are expressing what they're feeling in the field, the facilitator can listen deeply to the field and can derive sentences by listening to the emptiness in the field. And so when I'm working, it is not an intellectual or mental process. And so very often I will start a healing sentence, not knowing how that sentence is going to evolve or develop or end. And so when I see two representatives in a constellation, I'm aware that something needs to be said, but I don't know what needs to be said in that moment. And that I move into this place of being completely comfortable with not knowing in an empty space. And it's in that place that the field can speak to me. And so I literally at times hear the sentence being spoken before I instruct somebody to say it. Mm-hmm. So very often the healing sentences do not come from me, they move through me. So I'm not the originator of the sentence. I'm simply the transmitter. So a very important principle when it comes to healing sentences is to understand that they are not a conversation, they are a transmission. Okay, so they're a transmission, not a conversation. So that's the basis of what I teach, and that's what I will be teaching next week with meditation processes. And it takes a lot of practice to become skilled with the language of the soul. And so when we first start, we naturally copy our teachers. We say what they said. But as our skills develop, as we develop a relationship with the field begins to commune with us and talk with us directly. And so we become like a hollow reed through which the field can express itself. And so one of the most important qualities is being completely and totally comfortable with not knowing. So it's only with an empty mind and when we surrender that the field can speak. Yeah. So that's the essence of what I would like to share with exercises and see where we go from there.
Да, спасибо. Подскажи, а как ты понимаешь, допустим, что это говорит, это идет именно от поля, а не идет от меня, допустим, как от фасилитатора, который ведет расстановку, что это не мое, не принесенное мною, а именно то, что идет из поля?
Oh, it's quite difficult to explain logically a mystery. I just simply understand the state of awareness I need to be in order for that to happen. So when I first got involved in family constellation work more than 25 years ago, I spent the first 2 years trying to figure out how does this work? How does this work? I just simply now accept that it does. I don't ask the question anymore. The only thing that I do know, the moment I try to intellectually figure something out in terms of a constellation, nothing happens. Because I'm getting in the way. I'm no longer an agent. And so I take each movement as a constellation in its own right. So I work with emptiness, with emptiness, with emptiness, with emptiness, with emptiness. So that's how I work. Sometimes during a constellation, I will go and sit in my chair, and my students might ask me, well, what are you doing when you sit in the chair? What are you thinking about when you go and sit in the chair and look at the constellation? And my answer is always the same, absolutely nothing. So when the client is sitting next to me and they're talking about the issue that they would like to work with, 9 times out of 10, I just say to them, just please give me a moment and I'll make contact with them in some way. I might put my hand on their arm and I will just get very quiet. And I wait for an image. That's it. I don't try and figure out logically what needs to be done. And this is what I learned from Bert Hellinger too. Just waiting for an image. And so it's the same with the language of the soul. You just wait for the words. So if you're in a panic trying to figure out, well, what do we say now? Then nothing will happen. So we don't suddenly enter the field. We build up a relationship with the field over a period of many years. Because there's an intelligence in the field. So not only are we navigating our relationship with the field is also navigating its relationship with us. There's an intelligence there.
Я правильно понимаю, что на предстоящем семинаре как раз будет и теория, и практика, да, что и участники смогут почувствовать и научиться, вот, ну, хотя бы для начала, если, я не знаю, кто-то, ну, может быть, будут опытные расстановщики, может быть, только начинающие, то есть каждый из них сможет что-то получить из этого, правильно я понял?
Absolutely. when I teach, I never just do lectures. It's got to be practical, hands-on exercise, feeling, experiencing. Otherwise, you don't learn anything. Otherwise, the learning is just here, and that's no use to anyone. Yeah. And so we only have 6 hours together next weekend. And so that is getting a little flavor of what it's about. So nobody will be leaving the workshop an expert. We're just opening a door into a room and we're looking inside the room to see what's there. Okay. Yeah. These things take time to develop. They really do take time to develop. Yeah. So I'm speaking from a place of 25 years experience. If you ask me these questions 2 years into my work, I would be giving different answers. And maybe in another 5 years, I'll give you a slightly different answer. Because I give 1 or 2 3-day workshops every month. I'm very busy. Yeah.
Да, спасибо. Спасибо. Я думаю, что из этого небольшого интервью нашим будущим студентам, участникам семинара станет яснее, что они смогут получить и о чем этот семинар, и немножко познакомиться с вами.
Okay, good. So it's a pleasure to spend this time with you.